guys, how's it going? It's AJ here. So as you can see, we have a special package that arrived today. This is actually my replacement battle box that I got. My wife got me one for Christmas and I was being impatient and insisted that it get delivered as soon as possible. Despite Adam saying, you know, FedEx is kind of janky during the holidays, he still shipped it out, and he was correct. Instead of arriving the next morning, it took almost 48 hours for the corals to arrive, and every single one of them arrived dead. This, however, is the replacement because Adam and his customer service at Battle Corals is absolutely awesome. We let him know what happened. He immediately said, all right, I got another pack cut. At this point, we let him know there's no rush. So here we are about a month later, and we got the battle box today. It shipped out, left Wisconsin, I think like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock their time, and arrived here in Albuquerque about 8:50 our time. So it's pretty impressive how quickly it got here. It also doesn't feel nearly as cold from the outside, but let's take a look and see what's inside, shall we? Alright guys, so as you can see, the package is very nicely sealed inside a little cooler. I definitely like how Adam has these, let me get the cooler out, has these custom cardboard boxes. Pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get this thing opened up, and I'm just going to show you guys what he sent because this is a battle box, so I really don't know what is in there. I know in our previous one we did make a request for a couple pieces and he was able to send us one of those pieces that we requested. But let's see what's in here, and then we'll start getting them acclimated, and they will go in the quarantine tank where they will reside for probably like the next month or so until the tank's absolutely ready for them. And these are probably also going to be the last pieces of coral I put in the quarantine tank for a while, just because that thing is starting to get pretty heavily stocked. Because everything in there is going into 75. A nice little heat pack. It's still fairly warm. That's pretty awesome. He always sends you a little congratulations card, and it gives you some acclimation instructions there. I will be floating these for a while just to ensure they do acclimate fine, and then I will be drip acclimating them for probably a good 40 minutes or so. We'll see. And then you also get some battle coral stickers, which is pretty cool. So let's see. They're all in their own individual bags, as well as inside a single bag. This is where I had problems last time too, is getting these little shipping peanuts everywhere. But all right, let's see. Let's see what's in here. We got a little paper towel just to make sure there's not a mess. I don't know how this footage is turning out, guys. It's my first time doing something like this, so bear with me. Unfortunately with this, it's kind of a one and done deal. So the first thing is a Starlight Millie. It's pretty cool. He also puts them in these little plastic cups to help protect them during shipping. But it looks like a pretty healthy coral. It's got some starting to encrust the plug there. And then a PC Rainbow, which it's hard to tell the coloration, but over the next few days they'll color up underneath the light once they're acclimated in the aquarium. And so far these pieces are looking much healthier than the ones we got before. FF Digitata, I don't know what that is. The other thing is, some of these pieces I learned last time is I was trying to find them on his website. Some of them aren't even listed on his website, which makes it kind of cool. A Toxic Tort. Look how green, you can already see how green that is, and it's not even underneath any aquarium light, and it's been in shipping. That's pretty impressive. So I'll take a look at that right there. The other cool thing about how he does his battle boxes is you can buy a, this is the, what was this, the $200 box? This is the $200 box, so you get to pick anywhere from 4 to 8 pieces. 4 obviously gives you something more rare, more high-end. 6, maybe a little less rare, a little less high-end, and then 8 gives you the most pieces with whatever he has the majority of, and he might still throw some fancy stuff in there. I don't know what this is. It looks like it says a BC special. Look how pink and purple that is. It looks like it's a look how beautiful that acro is. So with that being said, a lot of these might not even be on his website, but I can definitely say I will absolutely be a return customer just based on his customer service. And then we got a Roab Digi. I don't know what that is, but it looks like a pretty cool piece. It looks like so there's some purple and green on that Digi there. So there's 6 pieces. We got 2 more to go. I did request a Leprechaun's Purgatory as well as a Pearly Cadaver the last time. He did send the Leprechaun's Purg. I don't know if he sent it this time or not, but I'm fine with anything at this point. Indigo Tip Stag. That's cool. I've always wanted to find a nice stag for my tank, and haven't been able to do so locally. And one of my stores carries a pretty healthy selection of SPS. Oh, and here it is, the Leprechaun Purgatory. There we go. So I did get that one as well. That is pretty cool. So this is pretty nice. Also, the other cool thing about I would say Adam is when we got this last time, there was actually 9 pieces in the battle box, and we let him know that all but one, another Digi that he sent us, didn't make it. So I anticipated him to send us 7 pieces, but he still sent us 8. So he replaced the whole battle box, and it was purely my fault. I pushed the issue as far as shipping during the cold weather and around the holidays. But I will definitely, let's get these acclimated and get them in the tank, and I'll get you guys some footage of that. Cool. So here we are at the quarantine system. You'll see all the bags are floating. I'm probably going to float them for a good 20 minutes in the tank, and then drip acclimate them for probably a good half hour. And then I'll give them a dip, and they'll be hanging out in here, and I'll walk you guys through my dipping process. But yeah, so this is where we're at. I will get back with you guys here in a few minutes when I start to drip acclimate, and then we'll just continue the process from there. See you guys in a bit. Alright guys, so we're back. Actually, one second, let me grab these real quick. Alright, so we're back. They've been, the corals have been drip acclimating for a little over 20 minutes now. Adam on his little acclimation card says 10 minutes of, I'm sorry, they've been floating for about 20 minutes now. Adam says on his little acclimation card to usually do about 10 minutes, that's good enough. So I figured I would do 20 just to be on the safe side. We're going to go ahead and now open up these guys and put them in my little acclimating bucket that I use, and start drip acclimating them with the Innovative Marine acclimate, or whatever it's called, the drip acclimation system that they provide. Let's see here. How are we going to do this? I guess we'll go and get the siphon started first. I haven't done this on camera before, so it's new to me. Get the siphon started. Go. So I usually open, once I get it started, I usually open it up all the way just to fill the entire line up with water. And once it's flowing smoothly, I then start to bring it down to a couple drips a second. And I do have an extra pail of fresh salt water to replace whatever we take out of here on hand. So let's see. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm eventually going to write down what I put where, so we can, so I can remember what's what. So the first thing is going to be the PC Rainbow. Let's go get this guy open. And I do like that how Adam heat seals everything, so I really don't have to worry about it opening up during shipping or anything like that. I know that's becoming more of a standard nowadays. My scissors aren't the sharpest, so they don't really like the plastic a whole lot. Alright. PC Rainbow, and I'll just dump all the water that it came with in there. And then I will take it out of its cup, leave it on the frag plug. As I mentioned, part of my quarantine thing is I usually will cut off the frag plugs. However, I know Adam's very strict about his quarantining procedures in his dip process. So I'll inspect the coral real quick before I pop it in there. And I don't see anything obvious as far as any signs of parasites or anything like that. So I'll probably just leave his corals on the frag plugs and save mine for when I get some more corals local that I know I need to be a little more careful with. And the second one is going to be our indigo tipped stag. Again, I'll just dump all that water because I'm pretty sure all his systems use the same water and he keeps them all identical. I'd be really surprised if he keeps one system different than another. But I know he's got a good reputation in the hobby, so I'm perfectly fine mixing his water for my acclimation process here. Let's put this going. He's looking pretty good too. God, it's pretty blue. Indigo tip stag. I'm trying to put them in order to where I know what's what. Let's see, what's this guy? The Starlight Millie. And the cool thing about this little bucket that I use is it is for cooking, so it does use measurements, or it does have measurements on there, which makes it easy for knowing how much water I'm adding and how much I start with and how much I add, and depending on how lengthy I feel like I need to drip, it makes it real easy to determine how much water I'm replacing and acclimating and where they're at. This guy's pretty. It's got like some beautiful yellow and reds in it. Maybe some purples. I don't know. Again, I'll know more once they're in the tank, but really like that guy too. That's the Starlight Millie. Let me see if I can adjust you guys to where you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. There we go. And there you go. You also get a view of my fish quarantine system. And here's the FF Digi, which I don't know if it's the same one that I got before. If it is, awesome. If it's not, awesome, even better. But I'm happy with the piece he gave me before that made it through the last shipment. Oh, lost it right. And, I'm very impressed with it. This means I'll grow it out and have multiple pieces to trade or sell or give back to my fish store. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it's the same one though. Maybe. It's got some bright orange polyps, but mine has like bright orange polyps with like a yellow background. This one looks like it's probably going to be purple. So I don't know. We'll see. But it looks good. And so I'm just putting these in order so I can write it down. I'm trying to wrap the corals around so that way I know which is which even after I dip them. And here's the BC Special. This thing is beautiful. Let's see, I'll cut it from this end. Oh, went right in there. Let's take a look. This coral is beautiful. It's like a dark purple with a light purple. It's almost like a bonsai, but I don't know. I have a bonsai in the tank, and mine doesn't look nearly as purple as this one. So, and this has been traveling, so we'll see. So we've got what, 5 down, so 3 to go. Roab or Boab Digi. I don't know what that is. I can't really tell. I'm assuming that's an R. What do you guys think? R? O-A-B? I don't know. I might have to ask him. Adam's also really good at really good at communicating. I've never had a problem getting in touch with him, and he's always seems I would say excited to help, which is really good to see. You know, people that are passionate in the hobby. The whole reason I heard of him was obviously because of bulk reef supply, and that was a while ago. You know, I was always kind of on the fence because corals aren't cheap, especially when you start getting into some of the more higher end and just stuff that's a little more vivid or unique. So I did a lot of window shopping on his website for a few years, and then when I heard about the battle boxes, I was like, okay, I don't care what I get, because there hasn't been anything on his site that I see that I just don't love or I'm not impressed with. So I was like, I'll get a battle box, and I'm sure I'll be happy with whatever I get. I know he's got a good reputation, and I'm sure that's the case. So far, every piece seems to be nice quality and has good coloration, and so I'm pretty excited on that. I'm making a mess in here, which is not good, but oh well, it's not a big deal. Just a few drops of water here and there. And then here we are, the toxic tort. This thing is green, green, green. Which is good, because I really don't have anything that's green, green, green. Probably should have brought another bucket in here to throw my trash in. But I'm in my office, so I got a trash can right behind you guys. Just didn't think about it. So toxic tort. So that's number 7. We got one more in there. Let's see how this goes. And these are pretty healthy sized frags too. Like some of the last pieces he got me that didn't make it, they were huge. They were like that, and they had multiple branches, and oh, they were beautiful. It was so sad. It was such a shame to not see them make it. This thing is, God, it's bright green. I don't know if you guys can see in the camera with just the ambient light from the reef light, but whew, like that. My drip was a little bit slower than I would like, so I'll figure this last guy and then I'll increase it a little bit. And then here we go, the one I requested, Leprechaun Purgatory. If you guys haven't seen this one on his site, I strongly suggest you go look at it. Some of the most beautiful greens and purples, just fading in and out of each other. Oh, it was easy to fall in love with this one. So I don't know. The next order I don't know if I'm gonna do a battle box or if I'll do a custom order. I don't know what else he has to offer, so I mean, I don't know if this ever gets back to Adam, but you've seen what you sent me, and got a pretty unique last name. I'm the pain in the ass in Albuquerque, New Mexico that didn't listen to you, and you still hooked it up. Some different stuff would be nice, but multiples wouldn't be bad either. I mean, I could figure out something to do with them. But I don't know. Or maybe next time I do it, I'll do a battle box of 6 and see if I get some more unique stuff. Alright, so let's go ahead and increase this flow a little bit. So as you guys see, I've got just under 2 quarts of water in there. So I'll probably run it till it's just under 4 quarts, and then we'll go over and drip acclimate them. We'll go over in quarantine. God, something like that this morning. I'm excited. That's what it is. I'm excited. So there we go. We'll increase the drips like 4 or 5 drips a second. Cool. See you guys in a bit. Okay, guys, here we are. Sitting on my wife's craft table in the office. It was the cleanest surface I could find right now to kind of set you guys up. Normally I kind of just do this on the floor next to the tank. But this is my dip process. Here's a little bit of what I use. I either use Revive or Coral RX dip. I really don't have a preference between the two. Sometimes I'll even do a mixture of the two, just to kind of see what happens. I keep some coral glue, some frag plugs, and my fragging kit on hand, just because you never know what will come up, and I'd rather have it and not need it. I also keep a toothbrush to scrub the frag plugs and around the bases of the corals, not the coral tissue itself, so you gotta be careful with that. A cup, which basically I use to fill up this after the corals are placed in here with clean water from the tank, because I'm not going to reuse the water that was dipped. And then I have a strainer and just a regular bowl that's specifically used for my dips. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and start by taking the strainer out, and we're going to place the corals and try and keep them in somewhat order, because I want to remember what each one is. While these were acclimating, I spent the time to look at Battle Coral's website, and I was able to find all but 3 on his website, which, you know, is pretty awesome. And yes, the Forest Fire Digi is the same one he sent me before, so I've got extra of that, which will be cool. But I am super happy with this selection of corals he sent me. I kind of have an idea what each piece looks like, so if they do get out of place, I should be able to remember what's what based on the little list I made here. Like my leprechaun purge, I pulled it out of place, but I know what it looks like. And my toxic tort. Alright, so now that those are in there, what I will do is, let's move this over here, and I will pour this water into my yellow mixing bowl. They didn't have white when I bought these, otherwise I would have totally got white. Put that over there. And then, so I didn't use quite the full 4 quarts. I used just over 3. So we're going to go ahead and use, I hope I have enough of the Revive. We're going to use at least 3 caps of the Revive. I'm going to try and stretch it to 4, just to be a little extra careful, because my understanding is you really can't overdo it with the dip. Obviously, too much for too long of a time would probably have negative effects, but oh, there we go, perfect 4. And it's empty, so cool. Catch that, we'll toss it. And so what I'll do now is I just set the corals in here. You give them a little soak a little bit, just to kind of get them used to being in the water. And I'll leave that for about 10 minutes. I'll come back and we'll do the rest. Alright guys, we're back. So this is the final step of the process before we put them in the tank. They've been in the dip 10-ish minutes, give or take a minute or 2. So what I like to do is I'll go through and just kind of strain them out. It helps get some flow around them. Knock off anything that may be there. I know there's a lot of coral vendors out there, and Battle Corals being one of them. Keep in mind, Battle Corals doesn't sponsor me, or they didn't say, hey, we're going to send you this or anything like that. This was a purchase my wife made for Christmas, and I am very excited about it just because I know the reputation they have, and I want to help continue that good reputation, as well as giving you guys a good honest review of the product, as well as kind of show you my quarantine and dip system. So I kind of expect there not to be a whole lot on these corals. And so far, looking at the base of the yellow bowl, I mean, there's a couple floaties in there, but I don't know if I can't tell if they're parasites or anything like that. They're pretty small. So I'll do this for a few minutes here. Get them nice and washed off. So, and then I'll go ahead and start. Now, of course, this got them all kind of out of order, but I'll take this and swish it around a little bit on its own, get the toothbrush, and I'll just do the plugs. Don't actually get the coral tissue. You could actually damage the coral that way, so I'll just do the plugs where there's any chance that any eggs for anything might be on these plugs. And once they go in the quarantine system, if I notice anything over the next few days, I'll pull them out and dip them again, and then again I'll dip them a few days after that, and just to kind of try and break the life cycle of anything that may be in there. That's what I had to do when I had the nudibranch on my Montes, they probably got like 5 or 6 dips over the course of a couple weeks, and now they seem to be fine and just recovering. So do that, wash it off, and then, so I'm pretty sure this is the PC Rainbow, so we'll put that in the clean water for the tank. And indigo tip stag, which I believe was this guy. Give him a little swish. And I'll just start scrubbing the frag plug and around the base. Being careful not to actually get the tissue of the coral. And the only reason why I do such an extensive dip, guys, and quarantine process now is I've been boned in the past with parasites that got in the tank. So I've just gotten to where it's not worth it, and I dip everything. I'm pretty sure this is the Starlight Millie. But yeah, I'm super excited about this purchase, and here in a couple weeks, if all goes well, I'll probably be buying another. I don't know if I'll do a battle box or if I'll just pick some stuff off his list. I don't know. I'll probably just do a battle box because he's got so many options, and even though I do have some in there already, I'll probably just send him an email and say, hey, I bought a battle box. This is what you sent me in the past. Can you send me something different? Forest Fire Digi, I know that one because I already have it. And this frag is a good size frag, but it's literally like a third of the size of the one he sent me in my previous order. So when I said, hey, he sends good size frags, that means he sends good size frags in his battle boxes. And then on my list was the BC Sea Cow, which was this guy, the super purple one. And I actually just learned this. I didn't know that. I thought all the corals of his were all like his own propagation. But on his website, you'll see he has battle corals, which are, I assume, are his, that he's had forever and named himself, and he's, you know, they're like his babies. And then he has his missed collectibles, which I never clicked on that, just assuming that they were like merchandise. Well, I finally clicked on that, just looking to see if I could find all these, because I was like, oh, he only sent me 2 that he has on his website. That's kind of depressing. Well, no, the collectibles are the ones he gets from like ORA and stuff like that he grows out also. So, and that's where a lot of these came from. I did, let's see, the BC Sea Cow, the Leprechaun Purg, and the Indigo Tip Stag were all on his list, and all the others were on the collectibles. So if you guys ever check out his website, battlecorals.com, that's kind of how it's laid out. And the numerous times I've been window shopping on it, I just assumed missed collectibles meant merchandise, but that could just be my own ignorance. But I now know this. So once I get to this point, guys, in the dip process, it obviously doesn't take long, just because they have been dipped for a while, and I got to get them in the tank at some point. This water is also a little cold, so the water that's in the bucket is fresh out of the tank. It's still pretty warm, so. There's the toxic tort. And then my request, the Leprechaun's Purg. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I think I'll just do a battle box next time and tell them, hey, this is what you sent me last time. Can you send me other stuff? I'll keep this list that I wrote down. So now that those guys are in there, I'll let them sit for a minute. And let's see. Yeah, there's some floaties in there, but I can't tell if they're parasites or whatnot. I'm by no means an expert. I mean, it looks like there was a worm on there somewhere. But yeah, for the most part, they're clean. I mean, like when I dipped like the corals out at the 75, I had like bristle worms like that long that were inside the frag plugs and stuff. It was crazy that came out. All right, let's go get these guys in the tank. Alright guys, so here's the corals. They've been in the tank 10 minutes now, so they're still getting used to it. Their polyps are starting to come out. Just these front 2 rows right here are the battle corals. The rest are everything else I've already had, except back there, that guy is a forest fire digi from the last order, which is the same as this guy right here. But yeah, just wanted to show you their colors are pretty vibrant. They obviously survived shipping and are doing well. I'm excited to see how these things turn out here in a few days. But anyhow, thanks for watching this unboxing video, as well as my dip and acclimation process for my corals. I hope you guys have a good day, and I will get you some further updates. Thanks. Bye.